Today we're going to be changing the gear oil in this lower unit. It's a pretty simple task, and I'll be telling you guys a little bit on how to do that. So let's get right into it here. There's two plugs in the lower unit. This top one is the oil level plug, and this bottom one down here is the oil drain and fill plug. Sometimes these are pretty tight, so I use this impact. Tighten up the stand here. Just give it one tap. There's going to be a little bit of oil that comes out, but not all of it right away because we still have the top plug in, which is pulling a vacuum. It's going to hold the oil in until you pull that top plug also. Now I'm going to go up here, take this top plug out. One's a little bit tighter. As soon as I take this top plug out, oil should start draining out of there, just like that. Now when you're putting this back together, you want to make sure that the bottom drain plug, this one has a magnet, it goes on the bottom. It's supposed to catch any shavings that come off of the gears inside the gear case. If this isn't put up there, it's not going to do its job. So we want to make sure this one goes back where it's supposed to in the bottom. This one doesn't have a magnet on it, so it goes on the top. And so what we're looking for when we're draining the oil is any discoloration in the oil, like sometimes you get some water up there, and that might be because of fishing line getting stuck behind the prop and cutting into the prop shaft seals, which in turn lets water into the gear case, which is not a good thing. So this oil looks pretty decent. There's no lighter colors. It's not like a foamy white or a grayish color. It's darker color, just like it should be. So we're good there. So we'll just let it drain, and I'll show you guys how to fill it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put this adapter in the fill part of the lower unit. You always want to fill from the bottom up. Why we do that is to get all the air out of the gear case, because if there's any air pockets in there, it potentially could cause the gear case to be ruined. So if we filled from the bottom down, the chances of getting an air pocket in the lower unit would be great. My adapter in here. Give it a couple pumps. I'm gonna let it fill up. You always want to use new seals when you're doing these. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wait for the oil to start coming out of this top hole. I'm gonna let the oil come out a little bit, get all the air out of there. As soon as it starts coming out, I'm gonna turn the valve off here, and I'm gonna plug the top hole for it first. That's what you wanna do. So we'll wait. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of oil coming out. You see some air bubbles coming out too, so I'm gonna let it stay on for a second until I get a steady stream. There's a good steady stream. I'm gonna plug it. So I turned the valve off down there as soon as I seen a steady flow of oil coming out. And with these plugs, I always just tighten them as tight as I can. I don't use the hammer to tighten with this impact. That's good up there. Now we're gonna come down here, take this quick disconnect off. This is tricky. You're always gonna get a little bit of oil coming out no matter what. So as soon as I pull the plug out, there's gonna be some oil that comes out. It's gonna happen every time. You just wanna be quick about putting the plug back in. Try to do this without making a mess here. Just like that. Like I said, you just want to tighten it as tight as you can get. by hand. That's a oil change in your gear case for you.